I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're exploring an extraordinary journey with Vanessa Jarrett, whose groundbreaking children's book is called It's a Baby. The book revolutionizes family conversations. This educational yet simple masterpiece breaks down complex life events into stories children can understand, fostering a positive mindset and effective communication from a very young age. Vanessa's narrative is not just about the birds and the bees, it's about shaping future generations. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. We ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Vanessa, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a great book for children to learn about babies and so forth. What inspired you to write a book that would transform family conversations?
Because my youngest grandson, he asks where babies come from.
Mm.
And then the other grandson asked me to explain to him how a baby got in his mama's stomach. So because I couldn't think of nothing fast enough, I decided to write a book so they can understand and see what I was trying to teach them.
That sounds great. So did you say to your grandchildren, now hold that question, I got to write a book and then I'll get back to you?
No.
That'd have been a good response, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
In fact, I'm going
said,
to say it to my wife from now on. When she tells me to clean up the closet, I'm going to say, wait a second, I got to write a book. I'll get right back to you. No, I'm teasing you. That's awesome. That's really great. I'm glad it was inspired by your beautiful grandchildren. And let's tell the folks at home what the book is about. Give them an overview.
it's about our family getting together for a barbecue at Keisha's house, and everyone comes in, and Eric is asking where the baby come from, and then his mom's belly is getting bigger and bigger along the way of the book, and he asks if she still love him, and he slides off her belly and want to know if it's still room for him.
That's
So as the
amazing.
book go on, the kids get older. Some of them go to college. Some of them just teaching different things to the baby's name is Vanessa.
Mhm.
And so they're teaching Vanessa things that they know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The illustrations in the book are wonderful. Tell us about those.
Those are my real grandkids.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
every
that's great.
picture. Uh-huh. And so I gave the author of the pictures of the kids, and
Hmm.
he put them in that book.
Awesome. Well, that's terrific. That really makes it a personal story for you. And that's very, very wonderful. How do you go about approaching, somewhat adult topics like where do babies come from and have children understand in a way that is both educational and appropriate?
Um, I just told them the truth.
Yeah,
Sometimes we shouldn't sugarcoat and tell kids, what's not real. So
right.
I thought I'd tell the real story of where the baby come from.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And what ages is this book good for? What appropriate ages would you say?
I would say from 4 past 12.
Yeah, I guess once they start asking the questions, particularly if
Yes,
your wife is pregnant or you were pregnant and you want to explain it in a nice way to your children, because they have questions and curiosities. I think that's a great moment as well.
yes.
Have you read
As soon
the
as
book
they
to any
ask.
children? Have you read the book to any children?
Yes, grandkids.
Okay, and what was it like reading it to them?
And they was happy and seeing their faces, and I was just real excited about it
Yeah.
because they were in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And very proud of their grandma too, I'm sure, for writing the book.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, they
Absolutely.
claim they're going to have their own business like me. So
Okay,
that made
good.
me
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah, that's absolutely something to be proud about, without a doubt. That's great that you have making such a good impression on them, that's for sure. Have you envisioned this book, It's a Baby, perhaps as a video that kids could watch?
Hmm. And a movie too.
Okay, good.
It'd be a good little movie for
Yeah,
children to learn, other children's.
absolutely.
You got to explain it to them because if you don't, somebody will try to take advantage of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, you don't want them to learn this stuff from their peers at school who have no idea, you
Right.
know. You want them to learn from a responsible adult. And also the book is a great chance to start a conversation with your child, to
Hmm.
read the book, to, perhaps elaborate a little bit more, maybe even break the news that mommy's pregnant now and going to be bringing home a little baby and won't love you quite so much. No, I'm teasing. We'll love you just as much, for sure, for sure. That's a great, great, great story. Great, great book. And tell me about the writing process. When did you start writing it and how long did it take? And I'm sure you enjoyed writing it, right?
Yeah, I wrote it right after they asked the questions.
Okay.
Because one of them asks, the baby asks if she ate the baby. Is that how I got in her? So
That's
I knew
funny.
I had to get going.
That's funny. No, mommy did not eat the baby. Yeah, you want to get the right answer out there before horror stories like that come out. That's so cute. Kids really do say the darndest things, right?
They do.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What advice would you have for parents and other adults who are looking to have a talk with their children about those big questions? Where do babies come from? How do
Mhm.
mommy and daddies make babies? What would be your advice when having that conversation?
That the baby is created by the parents
Hmm.
and the love of the parents.
Mm,
And that's how they became a baby.
that's great advice. Yeah, I've
Mhm.
heard that you should give the children as much information that they seek, but really no more. So as they have a question,
Mhm.
where do babies come from? You can say something like, mommy and daddy fall in love and they make a baby. And then if they have more questions, and you continue, but just satisfy their curiosity for their appropriate age level. So that's what I heard. But
Mhm.
yeah, but I think that my kid's mom gave them the talk. I don't think I gave them the talk, but you're making it a lot easier for parents with this book. That's for sure. That's for sure. Now that you've written this book, do you have the book writing bug? Are you thinking about writing anything else?
Oh, sure. I have another one called Destined to Greatness. It's
Okay.
a book about my life.
Well, tell us about that book.
It's um it's about the struggles I went through as a child. Um, it's about my children and I and things we did. Like we had a restaurant together. We had did yard work together.
Mhm.
I taught them everything I knew, and
Yeah,
that made them good parents. I
absolutely.
started at 2, baking cornbread and making sandwiches and cooking eggs. They had to learn everything
Mm,
because I worked. And then it went on about the abuse in my life and the abuse from my boyfriend at the time and how I overcame the things that happened to me as a child. Because
mm.
danger can be in the house and out of the house. So they got to know that too.
Yeah, yeah. Often danger is more likely to be from somebody they know than somebody they don't know, unfortunately.
Yes.
So is this going to be a children's book or is this going to be
No,
a
it's
memoir?
I don't, yeah.
It's going to be a memoir where you tell your life
Mhm.
story. Well, that sounds great. What was the name of your restaurant when you had your restaurant?
Nessus.
Ness's? Okay, awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. As in Vanessa?
Hmm.
Sounds good. And it sounds like you had some pretty good cornbread there.
I did.
Okay, well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Now you've got me hungry because I want some of Nessa's cornbread because it sounds terrific. Particularly if you've got the kids making it at 2. They know how to make
Hmm.
it, that's for sure. Well, we're glad that you wrote this book for children, that's for sure. It's called It's a Baby, and it revolutionizes family conversations about questions that children have, like, hey, mommy, hey, daddy, where do babies come from? This will be a great conversation starter for you and your children, a great answer. In fact, Vanessa Jarrett, this wonderful author, was inspired by her grandchildren, and that's why she wrote the book. So she wrote the book, so you don't have to. The links are below this interview. It's a great idea to pick it up. And her next book sounds terrific as well, her memoir, talking about her life and her rewards and her achievements and her struggles growing up, including how she got the kids to make those cornbread biscuits when they were like 2 years old. That sounds perfect. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you.
And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.